Zombie's been around about 10 years. We've specialized in first-person shooters.
Atari approached us about doing a realistic military first-person shooter with a movie bent.
These guys want to make the most cinematic shooter I've ever heard of, and that would be really, really cool.
We've used a lot of Hollywood talent. We use Hollywood scriptwriting, Hollywood voice talent, a real soundtrack, Hollywood storyboarding. It's been a very diverse project.
Complete high production values like a movie.
Overall in the game, it's a fast-paced, grab you by the seat of the pants, popcorn, summer-type game experience.
Things are brought to you in the moment. You might have a plan and it'll change and you have to deal with it. And it's under intense fire and a lot of kind of heavy thinking and just sort of surviving. It's very intense.
In Xbox Live, we're giving you the full meal deal. There's going to be 10 specially designed multiplayer maps, 10 specially designed co-op maps that you can play split screen. And then Xbox Live, you got 5 modes of gameplay.
Red Mercury was influenced by a lot of the big Hollywood blockbuster movies, sort of a really intense pace, but with a really driving story.
We want to make this game as cinematic as possible. So the first thing they did was just write a script as if this was going to be a movie.
We met our writers, Rick and Tog, and talked about what we wanted to do. They immediately grabbed on to this idea of Red Mercury as something completely unique.
We've done 6 movies in the last 18 months. And Mark Long asked us to come in and create a storyline for this game as well as all the cinematics. He had shown us a bunch of stuff on the Red Mercury game, and we were just blown away of how cinematic it looked. It was just gorgeous material, very cinematic.
The Red Mercury story is about dealing with a bomb called Red Mercury,
which is a semi-nuclear device.
And you're sort of chasing it around the globe, trying to make sure it doesn't get set off.
And you're always one step behind it.
From Russia to Casablanca.
From Chechnya to Syria.
Chasing after this terrorist team, trying to save the world, basically.
And not really know what the mission directive is and have to figure things out as you go along.
Red Mercury, I first read about on the internet like 5 years ago.
It actually is based on something real, I'm not sure what.
It's a scary idea. And when we saw the early cinematics, one of the things we saw was the Red Mercury actually go off and it blows all the planes off of the aircraft carrier's deck. We saw sort of one of the early visuals they had done for that, and I was pretty impressed.
It's a complete hoax. I didn't know it when I first read about it, and then when I found out from other websites, oh, this is just a made-up thing, I thought, this is really cool, man. I'm going to keep this in mind, because this would be a great source for a story.
You could make this into a movie and it would work, in 3 acts perfectly. It would work start to finish.
You want to get to the next cinematic where you can engage another interesting character. That really is what, to me, separates the good game from the excellent video game.
There's a sniper in that other wing! Put your shoulder. I'll take a look. Hayden, get upstairs and get in behind that sniper!
Well, for Red Mercury, we spent a lot of time on research. Zombie's well known for doing a lot of in-depth research on their games.
We have a technical advisor on the project who's ex-Green Beret.
I train personnel in various tactics of firearms, unarmed self-defense, counterterrorism measures.
It's really nice to have him there because he knows everything about the military and the way things work, where they really work.
And so we had phenomenal access to weapons, ranges, and train close quarter combat drills, and see how these teams move and react. Go. Go, go.
I also helped the artist with manipulation of the weapons. We took them to the range, they got to fire weapons, see how they worked, and see how they were manipulated in terms of loading.
The artists get a sense of their weight and handling and how to reload and how long it takes to do something.
So that way they could replicate that in the game.
He gives perspective, and that's one thing that's nice to have because you can make small adjustments on all different levels, from the guy who's the grunt down below to a super high-tech gadget.
All those little details, produce a better title.
We also spend a lot of time out in the field recording audio, so we go out there and watch not just so the tactics are done, but also we grab sample audio.
The sound design for Shadow Ops, though, our aim is to get an extremely full and over-the-top sound. So we're cramming as much as we can in there.
Over here!
Sound Deluxe to do all the sound design on the weapons, and these guys are the designers behind Black Hawk Down and Gladiator and Kill Bill. Peter Zinda, who we work with there, is the go-to guy in Hollywood for weapons audio, and the game really sounds amazing.
We, of course, specialize in sound. That's all we do. We have a giant sound library, so we're kind of helping them out with weapons and other special sound effects. When you fire a gun in an environment, a gunshot is a very short sound that then bounces off everything around it.
The reverb has yet to be tweaked, but you can hear the reverb effect that makes this room sound somewhat big, because that's what would happen in real life, you know? Your environment sort of defines the sound that you hear.
Every gun in Shadow Ops Red Mercury has 3 different versions. There's an interior, exterior, and urban version of every gun. An example of that would be the M249. This is the urban version. If you fire a gun outdoors, it is echoing off of the hills. Part of what distinguishes that is this element here. You can hear it echoing for a long time.
And then the sound is all mixed down at 5.1. If you have a 5.1 audio system, I mean, this experience, the game experience, is theatrical. It's just amazing.
To me, the #1 most important thing about 5.1 audio in a first-person shooter is you have a positional reference for where someone is shooting at you from. So you can tell if someone's over to the left or behind you.
Where there's a guy on the other side of the wall, or whether or not your grenade went off.
Mortars are exploding all around you, and there's gunfire and bullets zipping past your head.
Well, it's our full expectation that the player will be completely immersed in this gameplay. There's going to be bullets and explosions coming from all over.
Get moving!
This really takes it to another level.
The cinematics were produced in Paris by a company called Attitude Studios.
We have tried to follow the same process than an Hollywood movie.
They took our virtual sets and built actual physical sets, wooden sets. Motion captured all the actors in situ around those sets. So when they pick up a cup and put it on the table, it actually sits on the table and all that.
The motion capture that I participated in were the motions of a person walking in a CQB mode, or close quarter battle, which is a certain way you walk. It's not like running out in infantry mode. The maneuvers for loading the weapons, responding to being shot at, the kneeling positions, basically all the movements of a soldier in various environments.
In the first part, you have the storyboard, which is the explanation of the movie with different pictures. After, you have the mock-up session, when you have your actors and you place the different movements you will use in your cinematic.
They used the game engine to produce the video.